Hello, this is Black Country Blokes chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
I've been here. This is the Black Country Blokes chewing the fat. With me, Kev Dillon, Craig Pinches, Lee Cadman and Aaron Dew. Today's episode is going to be on purpose. Have you found your purpose yet? And I found more purpose in the last 4 years of having Jasmine, because now I've got a reason that I have to wake up no matter what happens in my life, be it success, failure, disgrace, guilt or shame. I still have to wake up, wash my bollocks and get that little girl off to school. No matter what happens, I've got a purpose of life. And I think that's the greatest thing. And I think a lot of mental health comes down to when people have lost their job. They haven't got the energy to go to the gym, whether it's working at a charity shop for free, whether they've got to get up, go and get the milk for Jasmine's cereal. If we have that thing to do that keeps on the track, what does everyone think? What's been your purpose, that thing that makes you drive? But I've got this place, and I love the kids, and I've got to stay sober, in my own mind, away from anything. So they've got a role model. I can still go out with my friends and enjoy myself, but I don't want to be thought about drunk or an addict because I would lose their respect. But my main purpose is having someone that is there for my daughter, my wife and my daughter.
I was going to say something just now, just completely lost my head. So ignore me.
Okay.
As many do.
What's your purpose?
So, purpose is a funny one because I think if you asked me a few years ago, I'd always say I needed to know the answer. But I think as you go through life, like similar to yourself now, you just mentioned since you had Jasmine, your purpose has changed, and now it's to get her into a lady, to get married, and then obviously have an amazing life. So with me, my purpose, the stuff I'm doing now, I feel like it's my purpose. I enjoy it. The Find Your Voice podcast, I love this podcast, just having that impact on somebody when all we're really doing is sharing our stories, our vulnerabilities, but we're giving someone hope, we're giving someone encouragement to move forward in their lives, knowing that they're not alone in their circumstances. That I feel is definitely related to my purpose. I've always had that instilled in me, I suppose, growing up. My mum was like a healthcare assistant, she was a nurse, she's always been a very caring person. We've fostered children, we've adopted children, so that element of care has always been in me to be of service. So I've definitely found that, but at the same time, I found that through having tried a few years in boxing with yourself, through being a project manager, to go into construction, to working in property full time today, social work on the side, and trying all these little avenues. But when I really look at like my purpose now, they're so in line with my values. And I think when we know our values as people, then we can kind of say, actually, that's right for us. Like
that moral compass.
That's it.
As long as it's pointing in the right direction,
absolutely,
that brings it. And as you say about this, I mean, some of the lovely feedback that I've had through Facebook or for being appearances. Thank you. Yeah. I suffer with body dysmorphia. Or thank you, I lost my brother. Or thank you. But I've never been able to talk to my friends because I was afraid that they wouldn't accept me. But now that you've come out saying about your eyes and your depression and all these problems, I've got more baggage than bloody Heathrow Airport. But I'm addressing it. And thanks to you guys, I'm feeling better about myself. And it's become my purpose every Tuesday evening when we come up here and we share our week. And that's become a purpose instead of just being a daddy, which is my greatest pleasure in the world, and being a husband and being a son and being a brother and being a coach and being a friend. Now I've got this, which is mine. This is my bit, where a bit of counselling, stroke, a bit of helping, and a bit of give, a bit of take. So if anyone has got any comments, now we're going live, please post something on, and always feel free to contact us on either our own Facebooks or on the Black Country Blokes or on the Instagram and all the bloody things I have no idea about. And if you have got 5, drop us a thing on iTunes, and Aaron does all that, so I'm a dinosaur.
I'll sort that out, yeah.
Is it like, is there a difference between what you feel your purpose is and what your goals are? Because when you said that, that's what I was going to start. I was going to say, well, it depends what day you ask me. You know, because they change. But I suppose your purpose is a staple core element that probably never changes and only intensifies. I mean, that's from my own perspective. Your ambitions and your goals are different, but what's your purpose? Like you say, it's there to be a dad. Well, your purpose is to be a dad. Well, that opens up a broad spectrum of what being a dad is. So is your purpose is to love, to care, to provide, to this and the other. So my purpose is probably the same thing. Having kids is to provide that role model. I
think goals often change.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, want Osma to win the ABAs, but then I want him to one day go to the Olympics. Then I want him to. That's a goal that I've set for someone else. It evolves, and that's the beauty of life. We're always evolving, we're always changing, and one day when the lights go out and I'm completely blind, then I'll have a different goal. Then it'll be to do something else. So that is always frightening, but it's evolving. Life's always changing. If you lost your legs tomorrow, your goals would change, but your purpose, my purpose, is to help people. So if you are going through the mill, you can always come and talk to me, because I've done a lot of shit in my time and I've been through a lot of stuff. So I'm not an after school special. So if you do want to come and talk about many different things that I won't necessarily say on camera, but if you do want to come and talk, I always feel like you can be up here, or we can meet up for a drink, as all of us have done. Now we can phone each other and talk. You haven't got to suffer in silence. Maybe that's my purpose in life.
I think my purpose, and learning, like doing the music and the writing, I think, and the quotes and our write, I think my purpose is to change the way people think and perceive things, their perceptions and their ideologies and that. And I think that is at least introduce like a devil's advocate factor, you know, where people are no longer, from my words or my actions, no longer set in the ways, and they start thinking, oh, he gave us something to debate now. Can I change my perception, or is my perception wrong? So I think my purpose, looking at it from that angle, alternatively, you know, as opposed to just the parenting, I think is to change the way people think.
And we're not just dads, we're not just musicians, we're not just boxing coach, I'm not just a husband, I'm not just a man, I'm not just a white man, I'm not just heterosexual. We're all these different things. So we haven't got to feel like I am only one thing. These are all different pots that we are, that makes us, and that's what makes us so brilliant and unique. Don't be just defined by one aspect of yourself. So your purpose, to be a father, is to open up people's minds. And if anyone would like to listen to Craig's stuff, CP Lee Music is my social media sites, and you'll find me through that usually. But you can hear some of these wonderful quotes. I mean, every week he gives us gems. But if you'd like to go and listen to it, because it is amazing hearing someone from our neck of the woods, and someone who hopefully you become more familiar with, and seeing how his brain actually works. What's your purpose?
I was just going to ask Lee that.
Couldn't tell you. I really don't think I've found that. Like, again, it's obviously to provide for my family. That's an element of it, but I really don't think I've found what I was put on this earth for.
And some people find it at different stages. Some people know when they're in primary school going, I am going to be a vet.
Yeah.
And they grow up and they're a vet and they die happily. Other people, like I always think about, you know, Uncle Albert on Only Fools and Horses. He raised his kids, went all through it, retired and went, you know what? I'm going to be an actor. I've always wanted to be an actor. I know he's one of the most beloved characters, but he had to do it in his 60s, 70s, whatever age he was. Yeah. He found his purpose, and he had to button his gum shield and get up every day doing a job. He probably hated it, but his family was looked after. But then he found his passion, purpose, goals. They're all interlinked, but they're all slightly different. But he actually got to find his passion and pursue his. Do you understand? And I think that's wonderful. But he did that as a very old man, and look how beloved he is by the nation.
That must have been at that time, you know, to pursue that. But on the same note, he'd done he'd done what he was meant to do. He brought up his kids. They were probably secure
The
at that
stress
point.
out the way.
So actually, it was
He did the right
right
way.
time to do it. There's no. If he didn't make it, it wouldn't really have mattered.
Yeah.
If he hadn't got Only Fools and Horses, he'd probably still been as happy. Yeah.
Can people tell you your purpose? Do you feel?
I think that's when people go wrong, when they tell you what you should be doing.
Can
People
can
can guide you.
They can guide
They
you.
can point it out, I suppose. They can.
Like, how would they know that that's actually your purpose?
Purpose.
Because they
I
could just be
suppose.
judging it on, for example, if you're good at football at school, for example,
That's
your
your
parents
purpose.
could be like, I think you should do football.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to be a tennis player. And
Yeah.
you might even be good at a tennis player, or you might peak 20 years down the line
Yeah.
as a tennis player and actually be better than you would have been as a footballer. And I think that's a problem.
Or you're not very good at English and maths, so come on, work with Dad. We'll go and lay some bricks.
Yeah.
That'll be your purpose, because Dad, Grandad, Uncle
Absolutely.
Stan has
I
done
think
it.
it's a dangerous game, I do.
I think it's the reason I ask it is to raise awareness of, obviously you've got influences in your life, whether it's parents or whether it's whatever, and they tell you that and you sort of take it for gospel because you trust them and you think, well, I'm a young spunk, I don't know the world, they know more than me, so okay, that's my purpose, you've told me. So the reason I raise that is so as people can look at it from not a sceptical mind, I suppose, because that's quite negative, but a more open-mindedness to say, okay, that's your perception on what you feel my purpose is. Now let me see how that, synchronises with me and correlates with me.
I think
personally.
people also do that because either they try and look after you, or B, they didn't have the courage to do it themselves. Yeah, well,
I don't think there's any malice or anything in it.
No.
I think it's all good intentions.
he's dying to spar, and the kids are going, fuck it. And then they're going, oh yeah, all he ever talks about boxing. He's like, I fucking don't care. and he really wants to be a boxer. You're thinking that kid wants to box as much as I love getting kicked in the bollocks.
You see that quite often, don't you, in the little classes when I'm in here, and you're thinking, you can just see the parents watching him, and he's like, I remember a lad a few times skipping up here, and every week you could just tell his heart wasn't in. He'd do it, but his heart wasn't in doing
This
it.
is one of the worst sports to do if your heart's not doing it.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
That's
the
it.
thing.
It's hard.
Exactly.
It's a hard.
I think that's how
sport,
you
know.
can judge what you feel your purpose is, or what you feel you really love is. If you're willing to get punched in the face for something you love and you feel is your purpose, you know what I mean? Like with music, am I willing to take them punches in the face? Does it mean that much to me? That's when you know it's your purpose. When you feel you can.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it does hurt as well, doors and throw everything at you. But yeah, it does, because like no matter how much I'm knocked back, the music, I'll go back to it and go back to it, and I think, you know, fuck yeah, just another jab. And people have actually said to me, I've never known anyone get kicked down so much in, say, music or whatever you want to do, and still get up and go for it again. And
That is your purpose, and that's, we've just started by
Kevs
saying,
just told you what your purpose is.
yeah, and I'm always fucking right.
Do you know what? It's a vehicle for my purpose. You know, I want to change the way people think, and I find the music a vehicle for that. Cause
You're more right it as well, ain't you, mate? Really?
I try.
But that you've just said, like you said, like I don't know what it is, but that's your passion and purpose. They've gone in hand.
Yeah.
Like, I think passion and
Moral compass, like you said as well. I think that was a really important point as well. It's got to be aligned to your values, because there's certain things
Exactly
that I could be good at. For example, I think I can probably sell stuff a lot easier than other people, because I know how to play around with words and stuff. That doesn't sit with me.
No.
It might make me a little bit more money, but it's like it's going to take a bit of time, and I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, but I'm thinking I'd rather spend that time editing a podcast for 4 hours on the hope that 2 people are going to hear that and potentially change their lives or not give up tomorrow. That's my purpose. I need to, I suppose myself, the only thing I need to do is learn how to monetize myself better, because I don't monetize anything. I'm literally just free 24/7, because I know what it's like to have no resources, like a lack of resources growing up, and I don't want other people to struggle with that, so I try and give as much away as I possibly can. But I also know, actually, I'm so happy as well at the same time. So if I was able to just monetize that at some stage, whether it's now or in 20 years time, then I've almost got the best of both worlds, if that makes
isn't
sense.
it funny what Nick Davis said to you on your Find Your Voice the other day? If you give people something for free to go value it, we have tickets from the Black Birmingham Metro, an organisation gives us free Safari Park tickets every year. We used to give mates, go, Lee, how many do you want? I'll have 15 here. Aaron, how many do you want? 20. How many do you want? I'll have 100. All right then. So everyone's had on. And then they go, oh, it looks a bit miserable, we won't bother. We
Yeah.
charge everyone £1 a ticket, and people go, how many you want? 15? Oh, I've spent £15. We'll go today.
Yeah.
And that if you give something away for nothing all the time, and I'm a bug like yourself, we do stuff for free. We've had a grant, ladies can come and train for free. No fuck will turn up.
Yeah.
But if I said, same class, £100, they'd go, bloody hell, £100, it must be good. We'd sell it out, but my moral compass won't allow charging that much.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And they say, look, up here's £2 for the kids, and they go, charge everyone an extra £1, and you make that money. I went, but that little kid, Kev, his mum's struggling, he comes here 3 times a week, so it goes from £6 to £9, and then she might have money to come to school dinners. So as long as the place is open and we're ticking over, I'm happy. Because money isn't my catalyst, that's not my passion.
That's my like when you say like going on today, it shows if people had money over free, they pay more attention. Like if you're gonna give me property advice, I might listen to it and watch you with the radio on, with this on, with that on. If I've paid you £20 for that advice, I'm gonna fucking listen to every single word of it. And
That's so true. I'm conscious of that because in property as well, I try and steer people away from people who probably know less than me, and I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but these people know less, but they're selling themselves and they're making money, and I'm here giving free advice, and I'm spending hours on voice notes, I'm spending hours in coffee shop with them, and I know it's falling on deaf ears because what they're going to do tomorrow is go pay for some shit advice. I'm just like, why did I do that? So I've kind of stopped that. I think Nick's message on the last podcast was fantastic, and I just thought a little bit about that. But I'll never stop doing what I do because I love it. There's no better feeling.
What we're doing now is for free.
Absolutely.
What I do every night up here is for free. You look after it. But you've got to also think, when it's for free, they don't come. It hasn't got to be like £100, but say, all right then, £2, £5.
token gesture.
And just say, token gesture, even if you're not taking it, it's going to go into that charity you're going to do with your mum, or say, look, if you give something, you value it more. And it's so, if you've had to earn it by hook or by crook, you appreciate it. If you've had to put your hand in your pocket and you go, oh, here's 20 pence, I've had to physically put my hand in and hand over something.
Effort.
Absolutely.
It's like I know in particular one guy who lived off a family member, and he's a gambler. He gambles now because he'll loan money off people, and he rinsed him that bad. And he said to me before, like he said, the worst thing he could do was just hand money to me. He said because he spoiled me. He says, and now, like he's gone, I don't know how to look after myself. But would he have gambled all that money away if he'd have been 60 hours at work for it?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't. So, like you need to be conscious of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
A gambling addiction is as bad as drug or alcohol addiction because you're just feeding something. You're feeding. Once you're in the hole, you need that fix to get you out the hole. I made £50 today, so I put 40 in and go, oh fuck, I've got to make that money back. Then you don't. You're chasing it. And I've known so many people with gambling addictions, once again with the suicides, once again losing the wife, losing the house, which leads to the suicide. And that's the same trait as a junkie. You'll do anything for your fix.
but like people like that, sticking with like the purpose kind of thing. Have you ever heard people say that it's my purpose to just fucking be a loser, or it's my purpose to that? You know what I mean? People sort of
I think that's
accept.
people who haven't found what the.
They accept their voices. They accept them escape mechanisms as this must be my purpose.
And they haven't had the right people to guide them. I've met so many people in naughty schools and being up here, and all they've needed is that bit of love to go, you know what, son, well done. And I go, me?
Yeah.
And these can be some of the toughest bastards you've ever met. I mentioned his name, he used to be a top doorman, and every time we come up here and I give him a bit of love and we dad give him love, his eyes would well up. And you're thinking, it's because you've only been told, you're a big lug, so you're going to be a tough one, you're going to be a tough one, you're going to go knock him out. And you go, you're all right, bruv. I'm all right. Then he'd break it down, and he wasn't. But having that bit of love, set him on fire, set him alight.
Yeah.
Maybe that's everybody's purpose, or it should be, is love and I'll say love and affection, but encouragement.
Yeah.
That should be, everybody should have that as a staple purpose, to encourage, either a
To
better.
help.
Yeah, exactly, to help. I mean, how many people do you know that they will cross an old lady across the road?
Tell me a better feeling then like when you help someone, or when somebody says, even with your music, for example, or a quote, or you, like you said, you've taken someone across the road and you've taken time out of your day, basically, that feeling of gratitude when that person says thank you. There's very few feelings better than that.
No.
Well, I was just about to
Other
say
than probably
that.
like the birth of your kids and stuff.
I
Yeah.
just about to say, I can't remember what Frank said, but it's our human obligation to help. But what you just nailed on there, because I thought you were going to say how great it is to help someone. But how great is it when someone just goes, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
But every time you do something for someone, and it's all right then, and you think all they had to take was that text message, like my very good friend Pete, who's coming on the show soon, did all these wonderful photos for the boxers, brilliant photographer. I think 3 or 4 people have actually met. It's Pete, have you got my photos? Have you got my photos, Pete? Have you emailed? I think 3 or 4 have actually said, thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
Great photo. So don't be embarrassed to say thank you, because you haven't got to go, can I suck your dick? Can I fucking pay your mortgage?
Unless you insist.
Yeah. But all it's got to be is, thanks, mate. I really appreciate that.
I'm just worried he's watching that. I didn't say it's PG.
But it's got to be, you've got to acknowledge good behaviour,
Yeah.
because if you just keep taking and taking, eventually you ain't going to do it no more. And what the Jedi said, Nick, sorry, I call him Jedi. Nick said on your thing, if you keep doing something over and over,
Comes an expectation.
Expectation.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
It's a lesson learned. It was valuable advice.
I was speaking
And please
to...
listen to it on Find Your Voice with Aaron.
Yeah. I'll put it on the Black Country Blokes YouTube as well, because I think there's stuff on that, like the NLP stuff, the manipulation, narcissist, and there's also anxiety and stress help as well, if anyone's going through that. So definitely check that out. Yeah.
So I mean, so
Very
they're
great.
a similar kind of platform, but they do interlink with the subjects and the value that you can get
I
from
mean,
it.
this is more of a group-based discussion. That's just a singular thing.
Yeah.
Which is why like you'll all be on there at some stage.
Yeah.
Over the year. So yeah.
It's more like group therapy.
It pretty much is, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying, like, when you say, like, you know, that feeling that you get when someone thanks you and I'm grateful. My friend down in London said to me last year, and I found it mad, and it's probably the nicest thing that I've ever heard said about me. Not many of them to choose from, but it probably is the nicest thing. And I messaged him and I said, I'll come down and see you soon.
Yeah.
And he messaged me back. He said, "You're more than welcome, Craig. It's always majestic when you're near." And I thought, wow. I listened to that and I thought, like, he's a really nice guy, you know what I mean? He pretty much like yourselves, really, really pure, really helpful, really down the middle. And for him to say that, I started, that's when you start thinking, like, is that me pursuing my purpose that's making him feel like that? You know, and that's the kind of energy that you want. If your purpose makes you and others feel like that, you're on to the right thing. That moral compass again.
It's addictive.
Yeah.
It is, mate, because I've never had anyone, other than my kids calling me dad, it's probably the nicest thing I've ever had said about me, you know, that I know of.
And we shouldn't do it for the gratitude,
No.
but I tell you something, that bit of gratitude goes such a long way.
It keeps you going on the nights where you're
down in the doors.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
how do you feel when you hold the door open for someone and they just walk through and you're like, it's okay, it's my job to stand here holding the door for you. You sort of get a little bit down, and you really kick yourself about it. You think, why am I so damn nice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, helping people up, usually you get a foot in the face. You know, and
That's the domino effect. If someone does that to you, or someone you're out in the street and he shoulder balls you, you bastard, then you'll do it. So it carries on. If someone goes, morning, you go, morning, that spreads the same domino.
You know, on that, I take the dog a walk, but I took the dog a walk the last 2 Sundays or Saturdays down the canal. The first walk I did, the first Sunday, I was walking down there. Everyone was walking past me. Morning,
Yeah.
how you doing? Honestly, I thought it was odd. I thought, and obviously I was replying. I'm not rude, but I thought it was odd. The next week, I found myself doing it.
Yeah.
You know, just walking down and saying, morning.
It's contagious.
Oh,
But how nice is that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And up here when people go like, how you doing, mate? What's your name? My name's Kev. And at first you're some going, what's he after?
Yeah,
By the end, then a new kid comes in, oh hello, do you know what a skipping rope's like? But that's what we give up here, and it's the same around many boxing clubs around the country and around the world. But that gives them people that interactive, morning.
We need more of that on the road. We need more of it.
I think you do. Sorry.
Karen, mate, Karen.
No, you're more.
I was just going to say, so I've just moved up round the corner, up in Kings Winford, and the first day I moved here, I was telling you guys, same thing. I'm walking along the road, and people are saying morning. I'm thinking, talk to me. Like, what's going on here? Because where I used to live, I mean, it wasn't like rough or anything, but you just don't talk to people. And I'm always used to kind of just looking at the floor anyway. I always avoid eye contact as it is. But literally, like I'd say in the last 2 weeks now, I'm openly like looking people in the eyes, which is like helping my anxiety a bit and coming out of my shell. And I'm saying morning, and you feel better for it. They feel better. And just on your door analogy, I get the same feeling. Sometimes you'll open the door and they won't say anything, but the next time I'll still open the door. Because that's just my nature, and I think that should how it should always be. We shouldn't think
because you never know what they will go.
Absolutely.
They may have just lost a child or whatever. I mean, I worked.
It might just be a prick.
Yeah.
You don't know that, do you?
You don't know.
I was working on, I think it's the Warwick Road in Birmingham. I think it's called the Warwick Road. Really busy road. But yeah, I was there.
Sorry if anyone lives there.
Yeah. I'm choosing.
10 of our viewers.
But like this guy, we was working outside his house and we had to block his drive off and this and the other, and he was going mad, and a few people we were working with were like, geez, and he come over and apologised later that day, and he said, look, I'm sorry, I've just lost my son, and this and the other, and you think you're prejudging him on based on that, like them walking through the door and not saying thank you, they may have something on the mind. You know, but it is, like you say, you do need more of it. I was walking, before I had my children, I was walking through, just by, where am we? Brian Hill. Yeah,
Where am we?
Up here somewhere.
Brollybong.
And there was a couple, there was a lady in a wheelchair and a guy walking next to her, and they moved to the side for me, and I was younger than I am now, and I said, you know, thank you, and I walked off, and as I walked off down the road, I heard him say, what a polite young man. And in turn, that sort of thing, bloody hell, it's nice. Now, if I'd said, fuck you, no, and they might this and the other, imagine the animosity. So
that's the
it
greatest,
does feel better.
the greatest compliment I have about Jasmine when I'm out, and I go, your Jasmine is so polite. And I've seen it so much up in here, and the kids aren't saying, please, oi! My name's not oi, my name's Kev. Or, and the greatest compliment I can have about my little girl is, isn't she polite? All I want for her is to be polite, happy and confident. You know what I mean? If she can walk in and I've done my job, I don't care if she's the master of enterprise or if she's working at a chip shop down the road. As long as she's happy, confident and polite, I've done my job. I'm happy. That's my purpose done.
So we're establishing that positivity and politeness and courtesy and that.
Just good.
They're just good human nature, exactly.
And don't cost a bloody penny, does it? To smile, to be polite, and not to be spiteful. There's enough food on the table of life without sitting off anyone else's plate. So let them get on with theirs, you get on with yours, and be polite by doing it.
Absolutely.
And I think that'll do us for today.
I think a quote, if you don't mind me saying one, this one I've heard out a while back, being on purpose. The purpose of life is a life of purpose.
So until next week, gang, thanks for listening. Ta-ra a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.